in his letter to people, followers of Jesus in the first century in the Roman Empire, the Apostle Paul would write these words that are so helpful for us today. He says this: "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think." In other words, if you want to change, you can't just do what everybody else is doing. If you want to change, if you find your soul getting polluted and you want it to change, then you have to begin to think differently. And then he goes on and says, "Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." If you want to know what God's will is, if you want it to become clear, if you want it to really understand how God wants you to live, then you can't just do what everybody else is doing. If you want to change into a new person, it begins in your mind. It begins recognizing, I have to think differently. And Paul says, when you change your thinking on how to live your life, then God's way of doing things starts to come into sharper focus, and it starts to make a lot more sense. But it starts by changing how we think. In a world polluted with negativity and greed and impurity, we can change our thought pattern.